As promised, today we are building nest for the ants. In case you need a reminder, this is the Lasius niger colony, and I have seen comments from people that are telling me that it is in fact not pronounced niger but niger. But no, that's not the case. If you are using the Latin pronunciation, then it is pronounced niger, not niger. And I know that niger also means something else, but if someone thinks that it is offensive to pronounce them niger just because of that other word, that is ridiculous. And the fact is, it's not the word that is offensive. It is what you mean behind that word. That is what should offend other people, not the word itself. Words should be harmless. Thoughts, on the other hand, that's the other part. Also, I saw a lot of comments of you asking me to do natural outworld for them. And of course, I will do that, but the reason why I'm keeping them in this plastic tub for now, because I wanted to colony for grow. Because having a small colony in big outworld, it's really not ideal. You want to monitor them closely and stuff. So I was waiting for colony to grow, and now they're definitely grown enough. So first we will make the outworld from this white on brick. And then once they actually transfer their colony inside, we will make an outworld for them, more natural outworld, and that will be some other video. So the things you need for this type of nest. This will be the first time that I'm doing this. So this is not a straight how-to video. By now most of my knowledge I already shown in the video. So everything new that I'm doing, it is just me learning new stuff. And at the same time you learn from my success or mistakes or whatever. We all learn together. That's the point. So the stuff needed: white on brick, plexiglass sheet, some tubes, and that is all from materials. Now the tools that you need. You need a silicone that is safe for aquariums. That's the best way for you to find the silicone. Just make sure that it is good for aquariums, because then that means that it doesn't contain fungicide. You see, fungicide. You want this sign or just written aquariums, something like that. You will need some sandpaper, drill with drill bit that it is big enough for tube. Actually, it should be the same size. And what else? You need scalper, cutting knife for cutting the plexiglass. You can also cut it with jigsaw or circular blade, whatever you have. I will also need something like this so I can trace the knife. A pen so you can draw the nest. Scissors for cutting the pipe. White tongue is really soft material, so for carve it, the best thing to use is the flat screwdriver. Unfortunately, you put different kinds of beads on this screwdriver, but unfortunately all of them are in the new space, so I don't have that. But I will use some other stuff, don't know how that will work, but we will see. And that is basically it, so let's draw the nest first. First I will draw where my pipe will go, tubes, also watering holes, and from there just be creative, I guess. I don't know, whatever works, I guess. So now we need to carve that. Actually, I will extend these tunnels. I just don't know how easily I will be able to carve it. I actually have this type of screwdriver, you see. It is not flathead, but it should also work. And before making a huge mess, I will do that inside of this tub. Let's carve. Actually, let's do a time lapse of that. This was a fun trip. You see, I didn't really... I don't know, I guess it is fine. It's not a big colony, so it should work. Maybe I should show it on this camera better. Now you see, we have this big chamber and this even bigger chamber with two entrances, and this chamber and this tunnel. So I don't know, it should work out. Now I will drill it, and then I will need to connect these two tunnels with the drill tunnel. Hopefully the brick won't break. Brick won't break. Oh yes, and I figured out that this flat knife for food was the best for carving, at least from stuff that I have here. Let's do this. Okay, One hole, second hole. This is really easy to drill. Now I will just drill here to connect the holes. And here. Yeah, the tunnels are connected. See? We have nice tunnels. Now I also need a watering hose. I will use this a bit narrower drill bit. Just to measure, so I don't go too far. I need to put something to mark it. You don't want to drill through the brick, so it is good to know how deep you can go. There we go, we got holes, all the holes that we need. Now I need to sand the surface. For that I have this, but I'm not sure if that will work here. We will see. With that done, I'm going on my balcony to blow all this dust, because it needs to be super clean before you use the silicone to connect the plexiglass. All clean. Now we need to cut the plexiglass to size. So let's quickly measure that. I dropped it. I will use this for straight line. Oh, this is super dull. Look, it broke in super weird way. What the hell? This is the easiest way of cutting the plexiglass if you don't have any other tools. The cheapest way. You see, it just snaps. We need to apply silicone along all these edges, so it will hold the plexiglass and ants won't be able to crawl outside. You need to be aware that silicone is not the ideal way of connecting the plexiglass, because it doesn't hold it that well. It will work here, but you need to be aware of that. You can easily pull it off if you apply enough force, so you need to be careful. But if you don't mess with it, it will work just fine. So just apply a bead of silicone. Make sure you do the full circle and that there are no gaps between the silicone. Remove the protective layer and just put it on top. Press really good so everything sits nice and tightly. And just visually check that there aren't any gaps. You see all the silicone. Not sure if you will be able to see it on the video, but all the silicone is connected in one big circle. There aren't any gaps. That's important. Remove all the excess silicone, or you can just leave it to dry and cut it later. It is up to you. Now before we let it dry, one last step. We will need the tubes. So take 2 tubes or as many holes you made on the white tongue and cut it to the size that you like. Make sure that you have tubes that you can connect like these two. You see, I can make the connection. So when you want to extend it to another outworld or wherever, you can always connect the tubes like this. That's also important. So I will just put a small amount of silicone. Small amount of silicone and smear it across the tube. Tube 1, tube 2. And now in theory, it should just go inside. Yes, perfect. This is why you want your drill bit to match. Not too big, not too small, but the same size. And now we just need a bit more silicone to make sure that there are no any gaps. There we go. All the silicone work is done. Now we need to let it cure. And also I will need to drill holes here for the syringe. So just tiny holes that fit my syringe. And that's it. But I will do that once this is cured. Yeah, that will work. There. Now we will let it cure for 24 hours. And we are back. Let's see how it looks. I mean, it should look completely the same. But anyway, here it is. The tubes are set. The front lid is set. Now, as I said, to drill the holes, but first I just finished feeding the tarantulas and I have a lot of molds. One Nandochromatus molted, a Cuntoscoria geniculata sling. This is Idiotella mira molted. That is really cool. Which one was this? I seriously forgot what species this was. Alright. So this one is Hylobrachys Vietnam Blue, and this is Lasiodora difficilis. How can I forget so quickly? Funny. Back to the nest to drill the holes now. I already prepared a small drill bit. As I said, this will be just for the syringe. And now to peel the less protective layer. Here it is. There. Now it's all nice and clear. Now to attach it with this outweld. First we need to make holes. I mean one hole on this outweld. To cut the pipe for the outweld. And a small part of this pipe that I will use to connect pipe from outweld with the pipe from nest. Like that. And now I will drill hole somewhere here. Oh god, oh god, oh god, I blew it. I blew it. This was really sloppy. Look what I've done. That was such an amateur mistake. But oh well, it happens. Now you see, these two are connected. And now I will silicone this part just to be sure that it is sealed and connected properly. I will actually take this fresh test tube that I made in the last video. This will be their water source. Not really that practical though, maybe I should just leave it in the enclosure. And while I'm siliconing this, we have first ant going through the tube, but he's going back. He didn't went too far. Okay, now this is siliconed and I should fix the tubes that I messed up. You see what I did. Total chaos. Oh, we have second ant, but he's also going back. So let's now wait for the first ones to go through. I wonder how much time will that take. For now they are just figuring out what the hell is that tube and why it's here. Oh, is this one going in? Yes, no. Go in. Oh. I guess we need to give them time now, but everything is set up. Look at this. I didn't even notice. I don't know how far he went, but he's heading back now. Or not? He can't really decide. Yeah, he's going back. Oh, look, another one. What is this? They were inside after all. So I guess soon one will reach the colony. Let's just wait and see who will it be. Although I don't think that we will be able to recognize it later. So what I wanted to do, water the white tongue. I'm not sure if I know how to do this. I guess I just pour inside. I guess that's it. Where is the expedition now? I'll just put the camera here and wait for them. Oh, we had one enter. Have you seen it? We had one. Look at it. The explorer. First one to explore the new nest. Awesome. I always forgot to mention the name of this colony. They are called Antlantis. It was the name suggested by one of the subscribers and all of you picked that one. So yeah, now the Antlantis got its brand new nest. So what I need to do? I need to shine bright light here and cover this nest, and eventually they should move everything in this new nest. In theory they should move, but I noticed that they are really tolerant to light. They don't really care. So I guess this was all for this video. We have two. New one came inside and the other left. Funny. So this was all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs it up and comment something. If you want to support this channel even more, there's a Patreon page. If you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. I upload every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So see you again soon. Bye.